Hello, everyone. Welcome to Barca News. It is August 16, 2026. My name is Mo, and today we're going to be talking about the impressive victory that Barcelona just completed against FC Basel. Now, this is Barcelona's fifth friendly match this preseason. The first one was, of course, against Europa behind closed doors. Then we saw Barcelona play against Birmingham City in England. Then we had the triangular tournament against Udinese and Nottingham Forest. And today, Barcelona playing the last friendly match against that Joan Gamper Trophy match, which is also a friendly, of course. But this was the last one right before that Joan Gamper Trophy match. This time, Barcelona flying all the way to Switzerland to play against FC Basel. And Barcelona put out a spectacle of goals, scoring 5 goals. A goal by Adeyemi, a goal by Hamza Abdul Karim, a goal by Lamine Yamal, and 2 goals by Jesse B. Siwu. An amazing showcase by Barcelona. And I got to say, after today's preseason match, my conclusion is that this team is ready. Yes, this team is ready to play this season. Now, let's look at the lineup real quick because this was a surprise to me. We saw a completely different tactical play or plan by Hansi Flick. This is the team that Hansi Flick chose for the first half. We have, of course, Joan Garcia back from the World Cup in goal. We had Eric Garcia and Alejandro Balde in the fullback positions. Eric Garcia, of course, starting ahead of Jules Koundé. We had Andreas Christensen and Gerard Martin in 2 center-back position. I think it's clear as day now that Gerard Martin is no longer a promising player for Hansi Flick, but a definitive starter in his lineup. Then we had in the midfield, Marc Bernal, Shabi, Espart, and Fermin Lopez. In our front three, we had Karim Adeyemi, Rafinha, and then Anthony Gordon putting on the Barcelona kit for the first time. Yes. We got to see our newest signing get to play today with the team. Now, I was very surprised by this lineup or by this tactical plan by Hansi Flick because we didn't see your usual 4-2-3-1. I know this is how SofaScore has it set up as a 4-2-3-1, but actually once the whistle blew, we could clearly see that this was a 4-3-3. A 4-3-3 with Bernal in as a single pivot and with both Fermin Lopez and Shabi Espart playing as number 8s ahead of Marc Bernal, which is clear indication that Hansi Flick is getting this team prepared for Rodri, right? Because Rodri always plays in that single pivot. And I see a lot of people talking about Rodri. Here we go. Yes, I am aware. Don't worry. I'm going to make a live after this. You don't need to tell me. I'm very aware that Barcelona have reached an agreement to sign Rodri. But anyways, this was what surprised me about this match. Again, a 4-3-3 for Hansi Flick with Bernal in that single pivot and Xavi Espart and Fermin Lopez playing ahead of him. And then Rafinha playing in that false 9 position. It's clear that Hansi Flick continues to try different variants to see who could play in that false 9. Of course, we've seen Hamza, well, not really a false 9, he's an actual 9. We've seen Ibrahima Tunkara. We've seen, and today we got to see Rafinha playing in that position, which I got to say, by the way, was not happy at all with Rafinha playing that position. I think him playing on the left wing is a much better position for him. But anyways, we'll talk about players in a little bit. We have to talk about overall Barcelona's performance because I really enjoyed what I saw from Barcelona. I think Barcelona played some very impressive and good attacking throughout the whole match, more so in the second half than in the first, but overall, very impressive attack by Barcelona. The attack was fluid. It was tactically different from what we've seen from Hansi Flick in the last 2 seasons, which tells you that Hansi Flick is adjusting things for this upcoming season. And another conclusion, which might be a little bit of surprising or a little controversial, after what I saw today, I don't know if we need to sign Julian Alvarez or anyone really for that 9 position. I mean, obviously, it would be better to have a for sure number 9, but after I saw today, with the 2 additions of Adeyemi and Anthony Gordon play up front, I don't know if we need to bring someone in. I think with those 2, we have plenty of firepower up front. But let's talk about players. That's what I want to talk about more specifically, because a lot of players surprised me today. Let's start, of course, with our two newest additions to the team, Karim Adeyemi, who had a fantastic match today. And I think this is the Karim Adeyemi that we're going to be seeing throughout the season. Of course, Adeyemi, like any new signings, had a slow start in the initial preseason matches. We saw a lot of people criticize him, saying, oh, Barcelona brought in another guy who's not good enough. And I said, well, hold on, guys. Like, he only has like 2-3 training sessions under his belt. Of course, he's not going to be ready to just, hit the ground running. And lo and behold, we've seen a progression with Karim Adeyemi with every preseason match better than the one before. And today's match against FC Basel was, well, the best match that Karim Adeyemi has had yet for Barcelona. Very explosive on the wing. We saw him play both on the right and on the left, so very explosive on both wings. A menace to FC Basel's defense, constantly getting through defenders with either his speed or with his dribbling. He scored a goal, a beautiful goal, by the way. Shabi Espart with a killer pass, breaking all of through FC Basel's lines to Rafinha. Rafinha, who sends the cross. And then Karim Adeyemi, with total composure, just controls the ball, takes a couple of steps in, and in between three defenders, he fires a rocket and then scores. But it wasn't just a goal, because Adeyemi also provided an assist to Hamza Abdul Karim with a cross, this time from the left. This time, Karim Adeyemi was attacking from the left, and he provided an assist. So Adeyemi attacking from the right gets a goal, attacks from the left, gets an assist. I mean, this is a player that can shoot with both legs, a player that can attack from both sides, and a player that can get past through defenders with speed and with dribbling. So I think we're going to see a very good season by Karim Adeyemi with Barcelona. Now, our second newest addition, Anthony Gordon. Very impressed with his match. He did have 2 misses where he tried to kick it and the ball just went between his legs. I'm not too surprised. Of course, these things are going to happen. This is what preseason matches are for. Anthony Gordon only has, I think 1 or 2 training sessions with Barcelona. He just came back from a 3-week vacation. But nonetheless, I thought he really stood out in the first half. I mean, he was direct. He was dangerous on the wing. His movement were really, really sharp. And I was very, very impressed with what I saw from Anthony Gordon. I mean, his speed, his explosiveness. I mean, this guy is just an absolute rocket on the left wing. And I actually saw him causing more heartache for Basel's defense than Rafinha did, because I think Anthony Gordon is just a lot faster. And even though he's not a dribbler, he does have a little bit better dribbling abilities than Rafinha does. So as far as getting past defenders, I was more impressed with Anthony Gordon than I was with Rafinha. And our defense our offense was already one of the best in all of Europe. And now with the additions of Adeyemi and Anthony Gordon, who's only going to keep getting better as he gets more practice sessions under his belt, I think our attack is going to be absolute fire, ladies and gentlemen, absolute fire. But let's talk about the player that impressed me the most, not only in today's match, but in all of the preseason. We have to talk about this guy, because this player is top talent, ladies and gentlemen. This player is top talent, and that is Shabi Espart. Shabi Espart, ladies and gentlemen. I can see why Hansi Flick compared him to Philipp Lahm, but Shabi Espart is top quality, top talent, and we're going to be talking about this guy for many seasons to come. Now, Shabi Espart today played in the midfield. That's actually his natural position, believe it or not. He started out in the academy as a midfielder, and then eventually they started playing him as a right back. This past summer, he won the Under-19 European Championship with Spain as a midfielder, because that is his natural position. And today, that's exactly where he played. He played as a midfielder, as a number 8, as a Pedri, pretty much, as a creative midfielder ahead of Marc Bernal, who was playing in that single pivot. And I got to say, Shabi Espart gave us another master class. Previously, he had given us master class as a right back. Today, he gave us a master class as a midfielder. I mean, he was so comfortable with the ball in the middle of the field. He was so good at reading the game, attacking spaces, especially in the central areas. I mean, the goal by Adeyemi came from a killer pass from Shabi Espart. This just goes through all of FC Basel's lines to Rafinha, who crosses it to Adeyemi. And Shabi Espart, we've seen him actually in other games where he has made killer passes to Rafinha time and time again. I mean, I think Shabi Espart can find Rafinha in a pitch black cave with no sound. I mean, Shabi Espart can somehow, some way always find Rafinha with killer passes. Previously, he had done it as a right back. Today, he was doing it as a midfielder. But I gotta say, I mean, the way he builds from the back, the way he distributes the ball from the midfield. I mean, Shabi Espart is a top talent, ladies and gentlemen. Shabi Espart is someone that we're gonna be talking about for a long time. He can not only kill it as a right back, but he can also kill it as a midfielder. And I can see why Hansi Flick has chosen him ahead of Hector Ford. We'll see, of course, if Shabi Espart will play as a right back this season or as a midfielder or as both. But he definitely, Hansi Flick had definitely that option. And he also has that option during the match because, you know, we've seen sometimes, for example, Joao Cancelo under Pep Guardiola, he would play as a fullback as the team, as Manchester City were defending, and then they would switch to the attack. Cancelo would move into the midfield and then would help the attack from the midfield. I could see Shabi Espart easily doing that. I could see him helping with the defense as a fullback, and then when the team transitions into attack, I could definitely see Shabi Espart move over to the midfield and then help the team with his incredibly accurate passes and those passes that he always sends to the space. I mean, the way he attacks the space with his passing, Shabi Espart, ladies and gentlemen, remember that name because we're going to be talking about it a lot. Now, more names I want to mention. Of course, we do have to talk about Jesse Bisiwu, scored 2 goals. What a goal the first one was. The second one was mostly Lamine Yamal, who wins the ball inside the box, sends a pass to Bisiwu, and Bisiwu just has to tap it in. But the first goal by Bisiwu, my God, we can see now why Bisiwu has been constantly hyped in Belgium. Constantly, we've heard a lot about how Bisiwu is the most promising player to come out of Belgium football. He's been compared a lot to Ousmane Dembélé as far as his profile. I can see that now. I can see why Deco has been fighting to sign Jesse Bisiwu for, I think, 3 markets now, last summer, last winter, and now this summer, because that first goal showed us the quality that he has. I mean, first of all, Dani Olmo's pass to Jesse Bisiwu was pure class, the way Olmo lets that ball through to Bisiwu, leaving him pretty much by himself in the box, and then the way Bisiwu just opens up a little bit to the right and then sends a banger, a bucket, right to the top right corner of the goal. I mean, that is brilliance right there. Of course, patience. Bisiwu was only 18 years old. He's never played top division football. He's going to have to adapt. He's going to have to play at Barca Athletic, but I will not be surprised when we start seeing Bisiwu in the first team because that kid has quality. And then, of course, we do have to talk about, hold on, there's someone who's spamming here. I'm just going to block him here. There we go. All right. No spamming, guys. No spamming. And for everyone saying Rodri, I know. Barcelona have signed Rodri. Don't worry. I will make a video. But anyways, right now we're going to talk about the preseason. Then we're going to talk about Rodri. But anyways, let's talk about Hamza Abdul Karim. We have to talk about Hamza Abdul Karim because today he scored another goal, an incredible goal, a cross by Karim Adeyemi from the left, and the way Hamza Abdul Karim just makes the run, anticipating that cross, the way he dives for that ball. I mean, he pretty much does a split in the air and then pushes it in. But that's the kind of 9 that you want on your team. That's exactly the kind of center forward that you want on a team, a center forward who has an instinct for goal. And that's something that you cannot teach, that instinct to know where to be at what time, to be in the right place at the right time, whether it is for a pass, whether it is for a rebound. I mean, he is a natural poacher. This is a natural-born poacher. That's what Hamza Abdul Karim is, and that's exactly what we need. Even during last preseason match, I think it was it against Udinese, where he gets a rebound, he pushes it. Unfortunately, he kicks it right to the goalkeeper's hands, and some people were making fun of that. They were saying, "Oh, look, it's another Ferrari," and it's like, no, the fact that he was there for that rebound, even though he didn't score it, it just shows you that he's a natural-born poacher. This guy knows where to be at every single moment of the match. He's always in the right place at the right time, whether to get a pass, whether to get a rebound. This guy knows where to be because he's a natural born poacher. This is the kind of center forward that you want on your team because that instinct for goal, that instinct for poaching, that instinct to be at the right time, at the right place at the right time, you cannot teach that. You either have it or you don't. And if you do, you can obviously teach that player how to improve on it, how to build on it. But that skill, you either have it or you don't. And Hamza Abdul Karim has it, ladies and gentlemen. That's exactly the kind of box killer poacher that you want on your team. I'm not saying start Hamza Abdul Karim as our starting 9. Absolutely not. That would be putting too much pressure on a young 18-year-old kid that just arrived in Barcelona. He needs to be given the space and the freedom to develop, to grow, to learn. So I'm not saying throw him in there and make him the starter. That would be absolutely delusional. But I think that Hamza has definitely earned his place on that first team. I think he needs to spend the whole season training with the first team. And I think he needs to be getting minutes here and there. Again, I'm not saying start him. He literally just arrived. He came in January. He was injured for a while. He only played for like a month and a half with the Juvenil out, during which, by the way, he scored like 6 or 7 goals. Insane. Like during his debut match, he scored a hat trick, if I remember correctly. Like this guy knows how to score goals. But what I'm trying to say is he only played like a month and a half with the Juvenil out, which is the under-19 team. That's not even professional football. That's youth football. So he clearly needs a lot more time to develop, to grow, to mature. So we need to give him that space. I'm not saying throw him in there and have him be the starter of Barcelona in the number 9 position. That would be absolutely crazy. That's way too much pressure. That would be killing his career. But I think Hamza Abdul Karim deserves to be on the first team, or at least in first team dynamic, where he needs to train with the first team the whole season, get some minutes here and there, because that guy is a natural born poacher, ladies and gentlemen. He has that killer instinct to be at the right place at the right time. But anyways, that's what I wanted to see. I really, really like what I saw today from Barcelona. Very great in the attack, very fluid attack, very different tactically from what we've seen before. Barcelona ended up scoring 5 goals as a result. I think they could have scored even more. Our attack is just looking absolute fire. Adeyemi and Anthony Gordon are going to be absolutely cooking, and that's to add to a team that was already cooking up front with Rafinha, with Lamine. Yeah, we lost Lewy. Yeah, we lost Ferran. That's not really a loss, though. But we do have Adeyemi and Gordon who are going to be cooking up front alongside Rafinha and Lamine Yamal. Our midfield now with Rodri, that's for sure coming. Shabi, Espart, who can cook both in the midfield and the right back position. Our defense, everybody was like, we need a center back. No, we don't. Christensen is looking phenomenal, as always. He's always been a great center back. The problem was his injuries. If Christensen can stay healthy, we are more than covered. Cubarsí is the best center back in the entire world. Gerard Martin is no longer that promising player that can fill in from Barca Athletic. He is a for sure starter right next to Pau Cubarsí. And we still have Eddie Garcia, who can also do a great job in the center back position. We also have Andreas Christensen, who, despite the injuries, he's still a world-class defender. And we have Alvaro Cortés, who looks like another Pau Cubarsí in the making. Our defense is set. Our midfield is set. Our attack is going to be cooking. Our fullback position, guess what? We just got Cancelo. We are going to cook this season, ladies and gentlemen. And this preseason match proved it. But anyways, I don't want to say anything more. I am going to make another video about Rodri and Cancelo. Don't worry. I see a lot of people talking about it in the chat section. I'm going live in a few more minutes to bring you to discuss those 2 new signings. But ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be cooking. Anyways, let me know in the comment section what you guys thought about this preseason match. Let me know who were your favorite players, who impressed you the most. Let me know all your opinions in the comment section, and then I'll see you guys shortly in another live to talk about the 2 newest signings that Barcelona has just closed today. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, drop a comment, and as always, Visca Barça.